I'm 91 years old, and I've lived alone for 12 years. And people ask me all the time, Mary, how do you do it? What do you eat? Do you exercise? Like the secret is on a plate, in a pill, in some perfect routine. Well, I'm going to tell you something that nobody wants to hear. My friend Catherine ate perfectly. Kale salads, no fried food, supplements, exercise every single day. Dead at 68, pancreatic cancer. I eat what I can afford, rice, beans, whatever's on offer at the market. Here I am, 91 years old. So no, it's not the food. Or not just the food. It's something else. And nobody asks about that something else. My name is Mary Dawson, and on this channel I say uncomfortable truths. That living long isn't about eating right, that the secret is in things nobody mentions, that people who do everything perfectly still die young. If you want to know what's kept me here after losing everything, subscribe, because it's not what you think. Today I'm going to tell you why I'm still alive, after James, after losing most of my friends, after 12 years alone, and it has nothing to do with diets, or exercise, or anything the doctors recommend. It has to do with something simpler and harder. Let me start with what made me realize this. The people who ate perfectly died just as quickly as the people who didn't. Catherine, my neighbor, my friend for 20 years, that woman was obsessive about food. Obsessive. Nothing processed, nothing fried, nothing with sugar. She read labels, shopped at expensive health stores, did yoga, walked an hour every day, took 1,000 natural supplements, and at 68, cancer. 3 months from diagnosis to death. And I was there, watching, thinking, she did everything right, everything. And for what? Then there was Dorothy, another friend, strict vegetarian since she was 40, never smoked, never drank, not even wine at Christmas, controlled everything, absolutely everything. Heart attack at 71, massive, at home, alone. And Susan, who never had a single soft drink, who walked, who ate well, who did everything correct. Dementia at 74. Didn't recognize her own children by 76. 3 women, 3 friends of mine, who did everything right. And they went fast before me. And I eat what I can manage. Nothing special, nothing perfect. Beans, rice, chicken when it's on sale, bread, tea with sugar, sometimes a piece of cake, sometimes chocolate. I don't take supplements, can't afford them. I don't do yoga. My knees hurt too much. I walk a bit, when I can, when it doesn't hurt. And here I am, 91, awake, clear-minded, alive. So what's the difference? I didn't understand it for years, but now I think I do. And it has to do with something nobody mentions when they ask, what's your secret? Stress. Stress kills. It kills more than bad food, more than not exercising. And those 3, Catherine, Dorothy, Susan, they all lived stressed. Catherine was obsessed with health, obsessed, to the point of making herself anxious about it. Every pain was cancer. Every symptom was imminent death. She lived terrified, controlling, never at peace. Dorothy was a perfectionist in everything: food, house, life. Nothing could be out of place. Nothing could fail. And that pressure, that constant pressure, wore her out. Susan cared for her sick mother for 10 years. 10. Without help, without rest. She sacrificed completely until there was nothing left of her. And I've lived with stress too. Of course I have. Poverty, difficult children, James sick in his final years, debts, worries. But I learned something. I don't know when. I don't know how. I learned to let go. Not everything, not always, but sometimes. I learned that there are things I can't control and to release them. I learned that worrying doesn't change anything. It only drains me. And that I think made the difference. Because those who never let go, those who carried everything, those who lived tense constantly, they went first, even though they ate perfectly. But there's another thing, another that almost killed me too. Purpose, or the lack of it. When I stopped working at 65, I thought, finally, I rest. I'd been a cleaner for years, exhausting work, and I was exhausted. My body was destroyed. So I retired. And the first months were relief, waking without an alarm, not having to go anywhere, not having to clean someone else's house. But then the relief became emptiness. I'd wake up, tea, sit down, television, wait for the day to pass. That was it. And I started feeling strange, tired in a different way. Not body tiredness, tiredness of existing almost. Like my body was saying, "You're done now. You can go." And it frightened me because I felt like I was preparing to leave without realizing it, without wanting it, but happening anyway. Until one day, I don't know why, my neighbor Eleanor knocked on my door. A woman in her 50s, works as a nurse, busy life. "Mary, can you do me an enormous favor? Can you watch little Emma for an hour? Emergency at work." And I watched the girl, Emma. She was 6 then. 1 hour. Just 1 hour. But that hour made me feel useful again, needed, like I mattered for something. And when Eleanor came back, she thanked me so much, so much. "I don't know what I would have done without you." And something in me lit up or woke up. And from then on, I pick her up from school 3 days a week. I'm not paid. It doesn't matter. I do it because it gives me a reason to get up, to get dressed, to go out, to matter. And that small thing, ridiculous almost, saved me. Because I saw what happened to others who retired without purpose. Mr. Chen from down the street, retired. 2 years later, dead. Not illness, just faded. Like a candle without oxygen. The woman from the corner, same. Stopped working, stopped having reason to get up, went quickly. And I realized the body needs reasons, small, daily. If you don't have them, the body understands, we're done, you can go. And it starts to fade, slowly but surely. So that's another thing keeping me here, purpose. Even if it's small, even if it's just picking up a girl from school, it's enough. It's sufficient reason. Do you also feel like you lost your reason when you retired? Do you also feel like you were fading until you found something small to do? Tell me in the comments, because this post-retirement emptiness kills many people. And then there's what happened when James died. 12 years ago, heart attack. In the middle of the night, he went in his sleep. And the first morning without him, I woke up by habit at 7, went to the kitchen, put water on for tea. and I took out 2 cups, like always, put both on the table, poured tea in both, and I sat down. And I just stared at those 2 cups, and I broke, because one was extra. One didn't have an owner anymore, and I didn't know what to do with that, with the tea nobody would drink, with the empty chair. I sat there. I don't know how long, half an hour, an hour. The tea got cold, both of them, and I was still there. And at some point I thought, I can't do this every day. I can't. But the day wasn't going to wait for me. The hours kept going. The world kept going. James was gone, but the day continued. So I forced myself to get up. I went for a walk, 20 minutes, around the block. I didn't want to, but I did. I came back, called Elizabeth, my daughter. We talked about nothing, the weather, her girls, nothing important. But we talked, and that was something. And that horrible day, empty, painful, I survived it. With small reasons, ridiculous almost. Walk, call, breathe, continue. And the next day, the same. Small reasons. And the next day. And the next. And somehow I'm still here, 12 years later, still finding small reasons. Sometimes it's calling my friend Patricia on Thursdays, always Thursdays. Sometimes it's watering the plants on my balcony. Sometimes it's watching my favorite program at 8 o'clock. Small things, stupid things that don't matter to anyone else, but they matter to me, and they're sufficient. Because the days I don't have reasons, those days are hard, very hard. Those days I think, why? Why get up? And those days are dangerous because the body listens. And if it hears why too many times, it starts to fade. So the small reasons, those save me over and over. And there's one more thing, one that took me a long time to understand. People. You need people. Even if they're few, even if sometimes they fail. I have 4 close friends, Patricia, Helen, Margaret, and my daughter Elizabeth. I see them. Not always, but I see them. We talk about things that don't matter, about everything, about nothing. And that ties me to being here. Because if I disappeared, someone would notice. Someone would ask. Patricia would call if I don't call her on Thursday. Helen would stop by if she hasn't seen me in days. And knowing that I matter to someone, keeps me here. Because I've seen the opposite. I've seen people who isolated completely, who stopped seeing friends, who cut ties, who locked themselves away. And they didn't last. They didn't last long. Because isolation kills. As surely as any disease, the body needs connection, needs to feel it belongs, that it matters. And when that disappears, the body understands. They don't need me. I can go. And it goes. And I'm going to be honest about something else too. Part of this is luck, genetic luck, luck of the body. My mother lived to 85, my grandmother to 90. The body I was given, it endures. It has good bones, a strong heart. I could tell you it's all effort, right decisions, discipline, but that would be a lie. Part is luck, and it's big. And recognizing it doesn't take away my merit. It's just honest. Because there are people who do everything right and die young. From genetics, from bad luck. And there are people who do everything wrong and live long, from good luck. And pretending otherwise is a lie. So yes, part of why I'm here is luck. Lucky to be born with a resilient body. But the other part is this: small reasons, daily purpose, people close to me, letting go of stress when I can. Those things, those insignificant things, those are what keep me awake, alive, here. Not the perfect diet, not the vitamins, not the yoga. Reasons, connection, purpose, luck. That's the truth, the one nobody asks about when they say, "What's your secret?" Because they want a list, they want steps, they want a recipe. And there's no recipe. There's life, real life, with small reasons that save you. And if you're struggling to find your reasons right now, if you're feeling like fading, I want you to know something. Your small reason is enough. Even if it's just calling someone on Thursday, even if it's just watching a program you like, even if it's just being there for one person who needs you, that's enough. If you know someone who's lost their reasons, share this with them. Maybe it gives them one. Tell me in the comments what your small reason is, because we all need to know we're not alone in this. Thank you for staying until here, for listening to the truth about living long that isn't about food. If you know someone searching for reasons to continue, share this. Maybe it gives them one. There's another video up there that'll also touch you deeply. Go watch it and let's keep talking. Take care of yourself. And if you need a reason for tomorrow, find it. Even if it's small, it's sufficient. And write in the comments, my small reason is not for me, for you, to remind yourself that you have one and that it's enough. See you soon, and remember, or don't, just find a small reason for tomorrow. That's all. That's enough.